This podcast is made possible by you, the supporters of WPLN and WNXP, Nashville Public Radio.
It's Thursday, December 26th, and I'm Char Daston. You're listening to a special holiday edition of the NashVillager podcast from Nashville Public Radio, WPLN News. The news this year was an emotional roller coaster, with one surprise and unprecedented event after another. It was exhausting, and it didn't leave me with enough mental energy to appreciate the simple, predictable things that were happening all around me. Like the crepe myrtle blooming in the summertime, or the perfect little snowstorm that happened a few weeks ago on my 30th birthday. So as this year winds down, I wanted to share 3 of my favorite WPLN stories from 2024 about the changing of the seasons. Let's start back in January. Nashville got a rare 7.6 inches of snow, which turned the roads into ice rinks and closed schools for a week. That got us thinking about certain Nashvillians who may not be used to snow, animals at the Nashville Zoo. So we sent WPLN's Catherine Sweeney to investigate.
As the last patches of snow and ice were still on the ground and schools called yet another snow day, parents and kids flocked to the Nashville Zoo. They didn't get to see all of the animals. Most of the warm weather ones, like zebras and tropical birds, were all hiding away from the freezing cold in their private indoor areas. Sloan Campbell, a zookeeper here, said one in particular was not feeling this wintry weather. Bosa. She's a poodoo, a tiny South American relative of Tennessee's white-tailed deer.
She just moved to us from LA. I believe that was the first time she's seen snow. She was not sure what to think of it. Kind of ran around. She wasn't sure why all the cold, wet stuff was touching her feet.
But 2 other animals were having the time of their lives.
Having a great time.
Okay, I didn't realize they were right there.
Bo and Maylee love the snow.
Bo and Maylee are the zoo's red panda couple. Red pandas are probably best known for their appearance in Mozilla Firefox's logo or the Disney movie Turning Red. And Nashville's red pandas are snow veterans.
Bo, I think a little bit more than Maylee. He was brought up in Canada and most recently was in North Dakota, so he's used to it a little bit more than Maylee is, who's been here for the last about 5 years.
She says their coats work like a husky's. It's a double coat with a coarse, water-resistant outside and soft, insulating underside. But their feet are arguably even better suited for the snow than a husky's.
They don't have paw pads on the bottoms of their feet. They don't have toe beans like your dog or cat would. It's all fur, so that does give them a better grip in the snow as they climb around.
That being said, Bo and Maylee still needed a little extra help from their keepers after the recent winter storm.
They had to go and clear off all of their perching, so we had 4 or 5 inches accumulation on all of the places where they like to hang out on the exhibit, and they had to go through and push it all off and make the perches how they prefer them.
Mallory Immel, one of the zoo's staff, was showing me around as snow cleanup was still happening. The storm called for some extraordinary work hours, and not just for maintenance workers.
Yeah, we had some of our zookeepers stay overnight to just make sure that they could be here in the morning to make sure everyone gets fed.
But now that the weather is about 50 degrees warmer than it was during the storm and schools are back in session, everything at the zoo is pretty much back to normal. Catherine Sweeney, WPLN News.
I love thinking about that little deer from LA complaining about the cold in her Valley Girl accent. Now on to spring. Islam follows a lunar calendar, so its holiest month, Ramadan, can fall during different seasons. This year, it was in March and April. Ramadan is pretty demanding. You can't eat between sunrise and sunset, so you have to get up really early, and then you can't eat again until really late. Here in Nashville, the place to eat and gather after dark was a Somali coffee shop on Murfreesboro Pike. WPLN's Rachel Iacovone stopped by for a round of chai and sambusas.
Already? It's 10 p.m. on a Saturday night, and everyone is pouring in, no pun intended, to the Horn. They're dressed in their best outfits from Terawih, the night prayer, at their respective mosques. And everyone is buzzing and hugging and laughing, though they're piling into a long line that will last at least 45 minutes.
I was just saying that yesterday I was seeing people that I haven't seen in forever, all different cultures, backgrounds, everybody's been coming.
That's Huda Hassan, who is married to one of the brothers in the large Somali family that owns the horn. She's come out from the packed kitchen where the laughter is so rambunctious, it spills out to the loud crowd of people waiting to order.
I was born and raised here in Nashville, and I never got to experience Ramadan in a Muslim country, so it is nice having to experience it here and enjoying this aspect of it.
Her parents, though, have told her about their Ramadans before moving here, and it's made her nostalgic for a sense of community she's never fully had.
We don't get much of this living in the West. We don't live in a Muslim country, so celebrating Ramadan, a lot of times people don't feel it. But this is a great way to have the younger people still be able to enjoy this month in a way that they feel like they're back home even.
Enes Seba is one of those younger people. As a 20-something Yemeni, also born and raised in Nashville, his Ramadan experiences have been similar to Huda's.
For Muslims in America, sometimes Ramadan feels more serious because, we still have to go to school, we still have to go to work, you don't get as much time off. And in some ways it's a good thing. It definitely feels more spiritual. You definitely feel it is more of a challenge.
Enes runs the popular social media account and food tour, Nashville Hidden Gems, which mostly highlights immigrant-owned restaurants in the area. Because of Ramadan, Enes has had to record a month's worth of content ahead of time, since he can't eat during the day, and most places close around sundown. If he were elsewhere in the world, things would just be opening up.
People are kind of taking it pretty easy during the day. A lot of shops are closed. People are not working as much. School is off. But then at night, the whole city kind of comes alive. People are out. They're, sipping tea, shopping. It's like the whole community just becomes nocturnal for a month.
From the outside looking in, there's a lot of focus on what Muslims give up during Ramadan. Food, water, intimacy. But everyone here is sharing how much they gain this month. Deeper connection to not only God, but their family, friends, and themselves. Iftar keeps coming up. It's the breaking of the fast, and seemingly everyone here's favorite part of Ramadan. Not because of the food, though, but because of the chance to consciously and consistently gather with those you love, every night for a month. The Horn's Ramadan nights have been sort of an extension of that.
I think we're really lucky to have them here and to have them kind of fill the space in the community that I think was really needed. Just a place people can get together. It's beautiful to see people to have another kind of third place to go to. I think it's something that's been really missing in the Muslim community here in Nashville.
Rachel Iacovone, WPLN News, South Nashville.
Summertime brought some uninvited guests to Nashville, millions of 17-year cicadas. For those of us who've lived in cicada-prone regions of the country, this was a headache, but nothing new. But before the bugs emerged, some WPLN staffers who'd never seen a cicada swarm shared their feelings. It was an interesting mix of dread and excitement.
Hey, I'm Catherine Sweeney. Cicadas, I guess I've heard them, but I haven't seen them. When I was growing up in Oklahoma in the summer, you would hear the wow, 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 but I didn't see any. I'm pretty spooked. They have already started showing up behind WPLN's building, and people were putting pictures of it on the internet, and I did not want to see them. I don't know what to expect over the next few weeks. There's been a lot of debate among my friends about how bad it'll be, so I guess I am excited to see who wins that.
I'm Cynthia Abrams, and growing up in Oregon, I have not seen many cicadas. That may be part of the reason why I'm kind of excited to see them. I feel very on board to, maybe even eat a cicada or two if someone knows how to cook it up in an especially delicious way.
Hey, I'm Blaze Gainey. When I was in North Florida, I've seen cicadas before, apparently we don't get these periodical types of cicadas. Sort of creeps me out, but I'll be trying to make sure that they stay away from me. Also making sure my son doesn't try to squish them or grab them, because I don't know if they could be harmful. I should probably look this up. I guess they're just a bug that pops out of the ground every now and again and then goes back into the earth. Pretty weird.
I'm Miriam Kramer, and I have never experienced a cicada swarm, aside from the rude cicada that climbed up my pant leg today. I get that seeing billions of them is probably not a great experience, but I'm excited about it. I'm really interested in science. I was a science reporter for a very long time, and I think it's just a cool thing that not everybody gets to experience. I'm kind of excited to experience it. It is one of those unique things that happens in the place where we live, and it would be strange not to want to see it, I think.
My favorite part of that story is how excited Cindy was about eating a cicada. She talked with a prominent Nashville chef about cooking one for her. It didn't end up happening, but not for lack of trying. That story was produced by Rachel Iacovone. Thanks so much for listening, and happy holidays. Tomorrow, we'll be back in your feed with a couple profiles of the people responsible for crafting state laws. Have a safe and happy end to your year.